Hey, welcome to Mad Meeple, episode 55, Prime for Madness. In this episode, we talk about our latest dealings in Miniature World. And we talk about what we've been playing, what we've been doing, what we've been saying. It's awesome. Stick around. Hey, I'm Andrew.
I'm Corey.
Hey, welcome to another episode. I know you guys have been waiting for another episode. We've been chilling.
I
kind of like this once a month thing.
I really like this once a month thing.
It gives us time to collect our thoughts, play some more games, and so we have something really to talk about when we get to you guys out there.
Yeah, especially in winter when traveling is not always the nicest. And yeah, although this winter, let's be honest, this isn't winter. What we've just gone through is not winter.
No, it's not. Actually, my mother said she saw a robin this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
End of February, and she saw a robin.
The robin was looking to its left, to its right, and trying to figure out what on earth it was doing here.
This is way too early, brothers.
Too early. Wait till later on this week when we get a snowstorm. But
yeah, exactly.
maybe, hopefully not. So, it's been a great winter, really, for traveling.
Yeah, it has.
And, but enough of a winter to do some gaming.
Yes, exactly.
And we haven't. But let's start off, I guess, with our usual Television Land. The magical world of Television Land, where superheroes are alive and well.
Very alive and very well. Yes.
Very well.
Yes. I am one episode behind on Arrow, but I am really digging... I'm really digging how they're finally working the Russians into Oliver's backstory.
Yep.
Because that's what I've been really waiting for, is the flashbacks to how he got so connected to the Russian mob, and how he got some of those tats and all of that stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. And this is kind of building towards next season already, which I love.
Yep.
So I'm really digging Arrow. But I got one beef with Arrow. And I know this may not be an issue for you, but I really hate Felicity's new name of Overwatch.
The Overwatch! She's done with being Overwatch. I can't say much more.
No, I would assume she should be done with being Overwatch soon.
Yeah.
But I really hate that term.
Yeah.
Because it really just was a rip-off of Oracle from Batman.
And they acknowledge it in the show.
They do acknowledge it.
Because Arrow was saying, that Oracle was taken.
Exactly. But it's like, really? That just kind of seemed cheesy to me. And that's just because I really dig Oracle. I think Oracle's awesome.
And I so wish you were up to date on the newest episode, because there's a really cheesy line about a new hero that becomes involved in Arrow.
Oh, just say it. What is it?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So Vixen.
Yes, I saw that she returns. Yes.
And And Vixen enters the picture, and Arrow goes, "Yeah, I've known her for a while. We had an animated adventure," which is, if you go to the CW website and you're in the US, you can see the Vixen animated miniseries. Probably a whole pile of them, but they equal to about 30 minutes of like an animated movie or whatever that you can watch, and it involves the Arrow and Flash and stuff. But anyway.
You have not seen the animated?
I've had trouble getting to see it here in Canada, but you can show me later on.
Yeah,
how to do it. So, but I love. Oh my word! The Vixen character, and it's cool because the voice actress who did the animated series, she's the real actress as Vixen in the TV series.
Perfect, because that's how it should be. Yeah.
Well, not everybody has.
No.
Sometimes there's a reason.
Not everybody is good looking enough for the CW. I get it.
There's a reason we do podcasts.
Yes. Voice for radio.
Stay
baby.
away from the video. But Vixen, oh my word, because there is a strength to when she speaks, to how she talks in her character, how she looks, that is like a breath of fresh air for Arrow. But it's almost like overpoweringly good.
Yeah.
In this episode, so that people may have gripes about the episode for certain reasons, and that'd be episode, I think it's 15. And people may have gripes for one reason or another, but it's not... The Vixen character just stands out as, yes, we want to see more, because it's a magical character. So where Arrow deals with the magic part of the DC universe, Flash deals with the scientific part of the DC universe. So this is bringing more of the magic into it with Vixen. And she does some cool stuff, but it's the strength of the performance. You just go, wow, why isn't she... the strength is like, she should have her own show. I will say, so you have something to look forward to because I think... I honestly think
I'm interested to see this because, I don't really think she is popular enough to have her own show, and that's the issue.
No,
that is
the
the issue.
But I can see this as
recurring
happening
character.
just because I think it'd be cool to have her occur a few more times, and I'm pretty sure she will.
Yeah.
Just because from what I heard from reviews on the internets, and they're always right.
The internet never lies.
No. Never lies. There's been nothing negative about her performance,
which is
the
good.
actress, and I forget what her name is. So anyway, very cool.
That is awesome.
And
I'm really looking forward to more Katana as well.
Yeah,
because Katana is a fun character.
I'm just interested in where Arrow is going with their storyline because of what happens. I'm just wondering what direction they're going to take because they can't do the Deathstroke anymore because of the DC universe and the movie timeline.
Yes,
they're doing the Suicide Squad, and I think Deathstroke is sort of off the table for now.
Yeah, I would assume so.
But I mean, he's in Shannara right now.
Yeah,
being a druid.
Although, speaking of Deathstroke,
yes.
Did you like the cameo appearance of Deathstroke in the Flash 2-part episode where he goes to Earth 2, and they come across Floyd Lawton, and he's like this completely opposite character.
Oh, yeah.
He's like the partner for what's her name? The real detective, it's his daughter.
Yeah.
And Floyd Lawton is her partner.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
He can't hit the side of a barn.
And, I mean, did I say... Because that's Deadshot.
Oh, sorry, Deadshot. Yes,
that's
you said Deathstroke.
Deathstroke.
Yes, but that
was
thing
so
with Deathshot...
Okay, so we're going into Flash territory right now.
That was flipping hilarious.
Wasn't that awesome?
That was funny.
And that was so cool that they brought that actor into the episode. It's like, we haven't forgotten about you.
No, yeah.
And now I'm like going, I want more of
I want more Deadshot.
Deadshot,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's easy to get the names confused.
Is. Oh, totally.
But yeah, I want more of him now. And those two Earth 2 episodes were just so perfect.
They were well done. Amazingly, because there were so many little tidbits in there.
Yeah, and it's the episode after the Earth 2 where those who survived the Earth 2 experience are mopey. Yeah. And they're kind of... They've seen things, right?
I was getting tired of that mopey thing, because we had Barry Allen be mopey at the beginning of Season 2.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, great, he's in this mopey thing, but he does recover, and we do get one of my... I don't know this villain too much, but visually, Killer Shark.
Yeah.
Or is it King Shark?
King Shark.
King Shark. Though he's
King Shark.
Killer, I guess. But King Shark... Oh, my word. King Shark.
That was fun.
And they did a good job considering all the CGI going into that. Yeah. That's just crazy. For a TV series, we've been dreaming about this moment, man. Like years ago, we were like,
and now we're there.
Superhero shows, where are they? Where are the cool ones? I mean, we got Smallville, but But now, it's like King Shark. Oh, my word.
They would have never done King Shark 15 years ago,
and
10
they're
years
talking
ago.
about Gorilla City and Groton.
I know, right? So... it's exciting.
It is exciting.
And that episode with King Shark had some of the best lines this season in Flash.
Oh, yeah.
And probably the best scene yet in Flash in 2 seasons. And that was that scene where Killer Frost...
Yes. Caitlin?
Caitlin Snow. Snow. She comes up to Cisco and she starts acting all Killer Frost. And it freaks him right out.
Yeah.
And then she starts joking with him. Oh, no, I'm just joking with you. It's like, that was so perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to think that the Killer Frost character, I think is coming back.
Yes.
Which is cool because of how she left in Earth 2 and trying to freeze Zoom. But not only that, okay, so I'm going another rabbit trail. Zoom.
Yeah.
Jake Garrett is Zoom.
Jay Garrick,
but is it Jake Garrett? It's probably
and
the other guy.
The dude in the mask is probably Jay Garrick as well.
No, not Jake Garrett, but it's the Hunter Zolomon.
Oh, is that who?
That's what people have been saying. So
that makes sense. That makes sense.
That's cool because that's what Jake Garrett in Earth 1 when he saw when he was showing Caitlin Snow Hunter Zolomon sitting on the bench.
Yes.
And I'm going, that's just freaky.
Yeah.
So behind the mask, now if you're not following Flash, this is kind of hard to keep track of, I'm sure. But let's just say you need to go on iTunes.
You need to go watch Flash.
At least the last 3 episodes or whatever, and then get into the movie.
Yeah.
Because there's so much coolness happening.
Yeah.
So who is the man in the mask from Earth 2? And I'm assuming it's Jake Garrett. But it'd be so cool if it was somebody else. I don't know who.
Yeah,
but
I'm pretty sure it's
everybody's
Jake.
saying it's Jake Garrett. But it'd be kind of cool if it was like another Barry Allen, or I don't know.
It'll be the Earth 1 Jay Garrett.
It would, or another Earth. Yeah,
another
Earth 1. Yeah, Earth 1 Jay Garrett.
Because there is no Earth 1 Jay Garrett.
That's right.
It is
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hunter Zolomon. So.
That's it. So I'm interested to see where this goes.
Yes.
I'm really excited. Those shows are awesome. I'm really wanting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to come back. Mainly because my Heroclix Sky kicked your rear today at Heroclix.
All right, yes.
And we need more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. so I can watch more Sky. So that I can play Sky better at Heroclix so I can continue to kick your butt.
You killed Wonder Woman with Sky. There's something
awesome.
wrong there. There's something wrong there. But it was awesome.
Yeah.
So
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm really looking forward to come back. Carter's been good this season, but it's not the same as the first season. There's something different.
I just can't get into it, and I want to, but it just my mind wanders.
Whitney Frost shows up in the season, and she is such a fun character, but she feels like she belongs more in a Iron Man show or a movie, not in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
But it's been fun.
Yeah, it has. And people are saying this is probably the last season of Agent Carter.
It is, but it will be.
I'm looking forward to seeing that actress in other movies or something, because she's so good.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad that, I never knew about her, and I even forget her name now, but never seen her before, the Captain America one. So I saw that actress in Captain America.
Oh, Haley Atwell or whatever her name is. Yeah.
So it was good seeing her as Agent Carter, and man, that's just...
Yeah. No,
She was
there's
a great
such
actress
good TV out there right now.
On the positive side, on the superhero thing, I've been watching Supergirl.
Yep.
Which has been pretty good, I think. Fairly solid. I am so happy now, though, that it used to be I'd have a hard choice. I'd be watching either Gotham or Supergirl.
Yeah.
But now there's a time change. Gotham is, at least in our time zone, so you can probably catch it. Gotham is at 9 o'clock, Supergirl's at 8.
Nice.
Which is like, yeah, it makes sense.
So Gotham has returned now after their break.
But they're an hour later, so you can watch Supergirl and Gotham, which
is awesome.
I can understand why they wouldn't do that to begin with, considering they're both DC properties.
Right.
And, of course, in Gotham, you have Freeze, Mr. Freeze coming back. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, because I've been waiting for it to come back from break, but I haven't noticed it's been back. So
It has. It's
this
starting this Monday.
This Monday coming up.
This Monday coming up. Okay. It's back. So I am looking forward to that, because Arrow and the Flash are on a 2 or 3 week hiatus.
Yeah.
I hate us.
This. Hiatus, yes.
We still get Supergirl, though. She's every week, and then Gotham will be starting up, and then Agents S.H.I.E.L.D., I think, is starting up too.
In March, yeah.
Which is like next week.
Yeah, a couple of weeks, yeah.
Which is crazy.
Which is good, because it'll be back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's
TV stuff.
That's TV, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's been good.
Okay, yeah. And I did see Deadpool. Don't bring your kids to it. Just saying. I love Deadpool, though. The whole Merc with the Mouth thing, but it is there's a reason it's R-rated.
Yeah. I'm one of the few people who haven't gone to see it yet.
Yeah.
And I really don't feel like I'm missing much.
No.
Listening to Paul today at the store, he was like, yeah, I saw it and I really liked it, but I kind of felt like I'd already seen 3/4 of the movie before I even went to the movie.
Yeah, but what I love was Colossus.
Yeah.
They actually did Colossus as he should be, I think, in my mind, and what I remember from the old Jim Lee X-Men and stuff.
Yeah.
How Colossus should look and talk and just such a great character. He's never been like a headliner character, and that's probably the reason why he appeared in Deadpool. But he is a cool character, and I would love to see him more.
Yeah. I'm actually, as much as I'm excited to watch Deadpool at some point here, I think it's Batman vs. Superman that I'm more excited for. Not because it may be fantastic. It probably will be mediocre at best. But I think it's because of the epic scope that they're trying to reach for. And if they can succeed, then that means we have Marvel and DC doing these epic movie things. That would be fun.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see DC get some direction rather than just doing a whole bunch of scattered things that don't come together.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that Batman vs. Superman is good.
I think, okay, I'm a big fan of Man of Steel. I think it's one of the best ever.
Yeah, Batman is awesome.
That's Superman Man of Steel. Did I say Batman Man of
No,
Steel?
you said Superman,
okay.
but I am telling you Batman is awesome.
1960s Batman, the best. Because he didn't need to have his pecs drawn in. Adam West was the Peck Man.
That was more detective TV, and it was good.
That was. It's funny. It's funny. I never. Okay, this is another rabbit thing, but I never really enjoyed the 1960s Batman until I got older.
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I was like, it's so stupid. But now I can appreciate that humor because I was Mr. Serious comic book man. It should be more gritty or more. But now I'm tired of that.
Yeah.
I want some lightheartedness. So. Anyway,
I agree.
Batman versus Superman, I think will be awesome.
I think it will be.
The cool thing is, they'll fight at the beginning, then become buddy, pals, and they are because they're the yin and yang, and they complement each other.
Yeah, they're really no different than Captain America or Tony Stark.
No,
they get along, but they always rub each other.
Yeah,
because they have different ways of doing things.
Exactly. So I'm looking forward to it. The latest trailer, probably the only trailer they're going to bring out now before the movies, because the fight scene with Batman and all those guys in that factory or whatever, it went by so quick, and that was how Batman should fight. And you've never seen that. At least I don't think I've never seen that in a movie, because they try something, but it's not that quick and that well done, choreographed.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they did with Affleck's Batman.
I know, but get used to it.
Is Affleck still going to make your Batman number one? I mean...
Yes. No, I think he will.
Just saying. I mean...
We survived We survived George Clooney Batman.
Yeah.
We're still ticking, and Batman's still number one.
True.
But George Clooney was an absolutely amazing Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
George Clooney as Bruce Wayne, nailed it. As Batman... It was some schmuck in a rubber suit.
And I'm a Kilmer man. I like Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer was really good.
He had the lips
and the chin, and the chin,
the chin. He played the Playboy really good.
He did.
But anyway,
we could go down rabbit trails forever.
We are, but it almost seems like a sad segue into anything but Heroclix. Really.
Exactly.
So we got it. So we're going to talk about Heroclix. We've been playing. Now, Heroclix is a miniatures game from Wizkids Games that's been around since,
2002, 2003, somewhere around there.
And, man, it keeps up with the comics. You have figures that click if you take damage, but all the figures have different powers, depending on what superhero you have. And, man, they've been just bringing this out.
Yeah.
There's so many expansions. It's a cool game, though.
Yeah, it's an amazing game. Tabletop miniature game, as Andrew said. And, what makes this really cool is it's Marvel, it's DC, but you can sit there if you're arguing with your buddy and you're like, Superman's the best. No, Batman's the best. And somebody comes in and says, no, Wonder Woman wins every time.
Yeah.
Pull out some pieces, throw them on a table.
And get owned by Sky.
And get owned by Sky. Because that's Heroclix. Heroclix uses a 2d6 system where you roll... two dice, 6-sided dice, and you use those for attacking, you use them for evading. The system itself is very basic, where you get an action point for every 100 points that you build. So if most games are 300 points, you're going to get 3 actions per turn. Actions you use are either to move, to do a close combat attack where you punch or whatever. A range combat attack where you do something at distance. You can give a power action which lets you do some pretty cool, neat things in the game. And there are free actions you can take. You don't activate any one character more than once per round. You can't activate a character more than 2 turns in a row without... you can't activate a character more than 2 turns in a row. And some characters on their second turn in a row being activated to do an action will take damage. So it's kind of that really neat thematic kind of rule system. This is your rules and go. What adds the depth and strategy to Heroclix is there are basically 12 different attributes for attack, defense, damage, and movement. And those can show up in any different combination as you turn your clicks base, anywhere from click 1 all the way to click 12. And you basically battle it out with other people until one person is left standing.
Such a fun game. The neat thing or the bad thing is that Heroclix comes in booster boxes.
Blind booster
boxes. So you never know what you get, but then you have collectability. So you can get rares and ultra rares, I guess they're called.
You get commons, uncommons, rares, super rares, and then there are the dreaded chases.
And
the chases are awesome.
They are. It's funny because you've gotten back into this.
Yes, I have.
Just the last year and a half.
I've been more collecting than anything else for the last year and a half. Wanting to play more and more, and we went to Origins, and you and I both got to play. But now I'm at the point where I feel like I have enough stuff that I can really kind of bring it out.
Ourselves.
Yeah, bring it out and say, come and play. Yes. You don't have to spend if you don't want, but come play with my toys.
Yes.
Action figures. Come and play with my action figures. And let's play Heroclix. Yeah. And that's what we did recently, and it was a blast.
It is a blast. Just played today. I love the coolest thing about miniature games when you get into the groove of it and you have those big, dramatic, thematic scenes going through your head of what's happening on the battlefield.
Yeah.
And it was great today. Just a couple
Captain
really cool...
America standing on a ledge.
Yes.
Wonder Woman moves, picks up a wrecking ball.
While singing Wrecking Ball.
She's going to come in like a wrecking ball and destroys Captain America in one attack.
Yeah.
It was epic. I could picture it as it happened. I couldn't help but give you a high five.
When you roll 2 6s, you're just like, woo!
Yeah.
Falling damage, ball damage, my word.
It was just beautiful. But it's randomness, and purists of gaming who don't like luck and don't like that kind of randomness will say boo. But you know what? Sometimes you just need to play a game that no matter how well you plan, sometimes life happens.
Well, it's funny because there was a guy beside me who was just looking at it. He goes, "Oh, it's broken or whatever." I'm like, "No, people are, some heroes are tougher than others, and it's just random die roll. You never know. Yeah. That's part of the role."
Sky took out Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
by herself. Well, Sky.
Yes, which Sky is from S.H.I.E.L.D. if you don't know, and she's a minor character who can barely act.
Minor, who can't act. Let's emphasize the can't act. Yes. But she did well.
She did.
So Heroclix.
It was, it's those moments. And then later on in another game, we had the Metal Men.
Yep.
One metal dude, the Iron, is it?
Iron, yeah.
Iron, up against Batman.
Yeah.
They KO'd each other. Yeah. It was beautiful.
On the last turn of the game.
Yeah.
Iron pushed, did everything he did for one last turn, knowing he was sacrificing himself, and he took out Batman.
Yeah, it's...
Not any Batman. The Thomas Wayne Earth 2 Batman.
Okay.
Who is much more ruthless than any other Batman.
I kept on one-shotting heroes, though.
Yeah, you really did. That was your day.
With my...
One epic turn, and then you whiff on your rolls.
And then even the last game...
Yeah.
I took down Booster Gold with one hit.
With one hit, yeah.
Yeah, well, of course I had like a trash compactor in my hand when I did it, but and then the other one, I forget what her name was or his name was, but anyway, yeah, great times. But that's one of the reasons why I love miniature gaming, when you can see these kind of epic things. And where else can you battle any type of hero from DC, Marvel? You can go back and get some even Judge Dredd in there if
Judge
you want.
Dredd, Mass Effect, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything. You can have Kirk and Spock in there if you want.
Yeah, there is Star Trek clicks. Yeah.
So
it's just nuts.
Yeah.
But I prefer the superhero stuff.
Oh, yeah. Same
I
here.
will dabble into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that's coming out because it's Turtles.
Dabble I will dive into the sewers for.
Yeah. It's Turtles, right?
It is.
And they're doing 2 different art styles with them. There'll be the Eastman original art, and then there's going to be the new animated adventures.
All the way.
So, yeah, it'll be fun.
I want Krang. Oh, it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to that. So, Heroclix, if you haven't yet, check it out if you're into superheroes. There's also another company, Night Models, which has done the DC stuff. And these are miniatures that you paint, and you have set rules
32, 35 mil.
32, I believe.
32 mil.
32. And then now they're into the Marvel, and they've got the Avengers, and I think X-Men as well. So if you're into painting and want more, what you can see what you're going to get when you buy, that may be the way to go. Night Models, you can check those out too. We haven't played those, but we've looked at those. But I really like Heroclix. I like what you get in the box and the fun of opening a box and seeing what you get. It's got that old Magic the Gathering feel. You know, you don't know what card you're going to get. In this case, you don't know what superhero you're going to get. But basically each box you can have a battle group. Really. Yeah, you could have a team out of each box.
Yeah, so, well, that's exactly it.
And it's been going strong, and Wizkids supports tournament play and in-game, in-store gameplay, so that's kind of cool.
It's one of those games, if you just want to play casually, you buy some boosters or some starters, and you never have to buy anything else.
Yep.
If you want to play competitively, you can buy it all and collect it all and play in stores and win cool prizes, and you can do that.
Exactly.
You can dabble in both.
And if you haven't played in a while, the figures have gotten a lot better than when they first began. I've got those first began miniatures. They're kind of hard on the eyes, but now the way they produce them, the cool uses of plastic and stuff, what they do with some superpowers, are really good. So anyway, check that out, Heroclix. Next,
okay, so Heroclix was a lot of fun, but let's talk about some board games as well, because we got to get some board gaming in. So recently we had some people come over to my place. We got to play some board games, and we were kind of thinking we'd have about 4, but we ended up with a lot more. Mm-hmm. But one of the games we played was Porta Nigra. Porta Nigra is a kind of economic building game from Stronghold Games. It's Michael Kiesling and Wolfgang Kramer. Came out 2015, but North American release was 2016. And this is quite a fun little game. Mm-hmm. What did you think of it initially?
It. Yeah, I really did.
It's one of those games that the rules are not super hard or heavy or deep, but kind of the strategies that come as you play really are involved and deep. And I really like that in a game. Yeah. In Porta Nigra, basically you have a master builder, and the board is broken up into 4 quadrants or 4 quarters, and each of those quarters represent a different building or building area that you can build up lots in. And in the center of the board is a tile market or a brick market or whatever you want to call it. And on your turn, you use these cards. You have a deck of cards. You pick a card, and it tells you how many action points you get to spend and which actions you can take. And then you can choose which actions on that card you want to take. And the actions are buy bricks, build buildings, get money, get torches, which can be used to get money or take extra actions later. You can use them to get influence or little scroll tokens, which are used to buy cards. And it's kind of this efficiency engine as you amass bricks to then build towers to be able to get points, and you want to do it more efficiently than everybody else, because at the end of the game, whoever has the most points wins. But then there's this area control or area majority for each of the 4 quadrants for points. Mm-hmm. So it just really, it feels good, because as you play, you get points, and then at the end of the game, you get a whole whack of points.
Yeah.
Sum it up about right?
I think that's about right. I like building my buildings, so that was kind of cool.
It was so much fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. So
we played 4 person. So caveat: I've never played this game with less than 4. I've always played 4. You've always played 4.
Yeah.
But it feels right at 4. There's not a lot of downtime. There's some AP. I would say that's probably the downside. Is it's prone to a little bit of AP when you're trying to decide, because he gets a little mathy sometimes.
Yeah.
And you're really kind of trying to work out the best strategy.
You are, yeah.
So it's a little AP prone. And by AP, I mean analysis paralysis. But I think it works. Would you agree?
I think so. It was a lot of fun. The efficiency engine games aren't my strong suit. I'm very inefficient. So, but it was a fun game. It didn't take much to learn it. It went smoothly. So, yeah, it was really good. The components looked good. The board looked good. So, yeah.
Yeah, components are top notch.
Yeah.
It has this really neat little 3D element to it as you build up the bricks.
Yeah.
Those are really nice. Tom Vassell, in his review, basically made his one big critique about the game, basically saying that the colors for the bricks are the same color as the 4-player colors, and that can be confusing.
Okay.
And it doesn't bother me. It's one of those things that I saw the review, then got my game, and everybody I play with, I now ask, is this something that bothers you?
Yeah.
And so far I've played the game with about 10 or 11 different people, and so far I've had 2 that said it makes a difference.
Yeah.
But 2 is still too many. When it's just a simple color change.
Yeah.
So component-wise, they're great, but I would say that that's kind of a knock against the game, is that the player colors are the same. It's unfortunate. But yeah, components are really good. Replayability is great, I think.
Yeah, definitely got to get this to the table more often. I only played it the once, and it was, like I said, just it's a fun, smooth game. And I think probably if they do a second edition, I don't see why they wouldn't do a second edition, because I think it's selling pretty good. It's pretty popular on the Board Game Geek site, and so I'm hoping they'll sort out the colors then. But
who knows? But yeah, look past that and definitely give this game a try, because I give it top honors.
Yeah, it's really cool. Anytime you can build up a city and like that, it appeals to me. Just aesthetically.
Yeah, there's something good. Tactile about it.
There is.
And it's a little fiddly as you're filling the market, and you have to fill to a certain amount.
Yep.
But if you're playing with players who've played before, it kind of, you get into a rhythm of these are the colors, and somebody else is grabbing, and somebody else is counting, and then you're done and you're ready to play again.
Yep.
So it doesn't take long. So I like it.
Yep.
The other game we played on that day was Keyflower. This is a little bit older. It's 2012. It's from Richard Breeze and Sebastian Bleasdale. It is an economic tableau building thing with an auction mechanic. It's from R&D Games. And this we've played a couple of times now.
Yeah, we reviewed it. I forget which episode it was. But
so we talked about it in more depth in a previous episode. But we got to play it again.
Yeah.
And I'm still really loving this game.
I really love it. It was neat playing with a couple that I haven't played with before.
Yeah.
And it was neat seeing their first time playing the game. It's only my second time playing the game. I lost really good. But I was encouraging others. That's your
superpower.
That's my superpower. So I'm just trying to get as many different colored meeples, and you have objective cards that each person has, sort of keep secret, and you're trying to, I think, work toward that as well as building up your little village tableau in front of you.
That's right.
And you know what? It still works good. Really enjoy it. We just played with the base game, though, even though there's, I think, 2 expansions.
I think possibly 2, if not a bunch of little small expansions.
Yeah.
But I think 2 big box expansions.
And again, this is a very solid game as well that's been reviewed by others.
There's others who do the review much better than we ever would. But the really neat thing is, you talked about it, you get these kind of secret objective tiles, and you kind of work towards those because you know you have them. But then the really neat thing is, at the end of the game, in the 4th round, those tiles then go out for auction.
Yeah.
And you've then got to win that auction to get those tiles.
Yeah, because we got, I think because of the number of players, we got 2 tiles. And we get to keep one, and one at the end of the game goes...
Or both can go out. Yeah, you could use both.
So it's weird because I had one... Well, several of mine was dependent upon having different colored meeples.
Yes.
Or workers in front of me. But the trouble is, throughout the game, you're using workers to get other things to build up.
That's right. Yeah.
Get more victory points at the end by having more tiles to add to your little landscape tableau, and so you're always running low. So at the end, struggling to get those colored meeples out for me was kind of hard. But there's always that inner struggle, which is a good thing. It's a good. There's a little bit of AP in there, but it's good AP. It doesn't last that long, but you're still trying to figure out how to work toward those objectives.
Yeah.
I know, like, that I had. But then the tiles themselves, they have objectives. And again, we talked about this earlier, but there's some tiles that you get victory points depending on where, how tiles connect in your land.
Yeah.
In your
tableau, yeah.
So there's lots of neat ways to get victory points, which is always good. You're not stuck in one path.
Yeah.
It's got great replayability, and it's not that hard to learn. It's a good medium weight game, I think. Yeah. And it was fun to play.
Yeah, it's excellent, and I love the use of the meeples, as you've referenced, where you want the meeples for objectives for scoring at the end of the game for some of them.
Yeah.
But then you have to use the meeples to bid on tiles so that you can get more stuff and get more tiles. But on top of that, you want to use those meeples to activate actions.
Yeah.
And if the action you really want is in somebody else's tableau, you lose that meeple, you don't get it back.
Yeah, because you're using your meeple to grab those actions.
That's right. Yeah. So it's got this really neat economic function of the meeples that makes it super smooth and tight, which I really like.
Yeah, I think this game will last for quite a while. I think it's one of those keepers.
Yeah, definitely. It's already 4 years old, and it's still, I really do like it a lot. So yeah, that's kind of the two main Euros we've been playing the last couple of weeks.
All right.
But it's been a lot of mini stuff, too. We went on a road trip to Hamilton recently.
Went to a Dropzone Commander tournament in Hamilton at
Black Knight Games.
And it's really cool because it was our first time at Black Knight Games, and the game store itself was really well organized. I will say I like how the store was with the layout of even the front desk and the tables in the back. There was lots of room, and it felt really good. It was and it was conveniently placed beside a pizza place. So we had lunch. But anyway, it was a great tournament. It was a 1,500 point tournament. I brought my Scourge, of course. They're my mainstays, and I lost really good. But it was a fun learning experience. The main reason I wanted to go was not to win, because that wouldn't happen.
Not yet.
No, because that was my first. Yeah. That was actually my first game using 1,500 points. And now, Dropzone Commander, you can pick up a starter box, and basically it's about going into a war zone with your drop ships, dropping tanks and whatever fleets, and you could be an alien.
And the starter box comes out to about just shy of 500.
Yeah, 500 points.
Because if you add a commander in another battle group, you can kind of get close to 1,000.
Exactly. Yeah. And so you got to pick up some more figures. Usually come in resin or a mix between metal and resin in order to make your 1,500 points. Like a lot of miniature games that you have these big battles with. And 1,500, I've heard of games going to 4,000 points per army group. But anyway, this was Dropzone Commander. Was just fun to go to this tournament and get some heads up on some rules and to learn a little bit better how to play. Probably not the best way to go to learn in a tournament, just because things are going quick and people want to play fairly at a quick pace as a tournament pace. But these group of guys were just amazing. So kudos to the Ontario Dropzone Commander Facebook group and to Black Knight Games for just hosting this event. There's another event happening, I guess, in April, I think.
April 9th.
So it's really cool to be... This is my first foray into doing a tournament miniature gaming thing of this scale. And it was a great experience. Some people have bad experiences from going to tournaments, and depending who you play, but everybody there was just really good to talk to and to get rules clarifications, and so it's good way to learn some more about how to play my Scourge, what to do, what not to do, and how the different objectives and tables, how they work. So it was good times all around.
Yeah, and it was interesting because you got to play.
Yep.
So we left early. I drove down so that you could relax and rest your brain.
Oh, yeah.
And then you played for 6 hours plus.
Yes.
To do 3 rounds.
Yes.
And then I drove back. So I really didn't do much but walk around Black Knight, watch some Dropzone Games.
It was a long day for you.
It was a long day. But it allowed me to get a different perspective than you. Mm-hmm. So while you were so focused on playing, I walked around the store a bunch of times, talked to the staff at the counter, and it really is. So I'm going to actually take some time to review Black Knight games because I have that opportunity because I spend so much time there on a Saturday.
Because Corey, if some of you know, works in a board game store.
Yeah, I'm a board game guru at the Giddy Goblin in our local town. And when I go to stores now, I have this different perspective. So I went to Black Knight with you, and I got to admit, their game selection is decent for a game store, especially one that's mini and Magic focused.
Yeah.
Great selection of games. They have the setup, like you said, is amazing. You walk in, the counter's right there. People say hi to you. It's amazing. Kind of board games down the left side. They have a nice board game selection at the back that you can sit and play.
Yep.
But the highlights for me were the staff always looked up and said hi when you walked in.
Yep.
That shows friendliness. And they're always willing to chat. I thought that was awesome. Second, they are a minis and Magic store first. And it shows. Because right off of the counter is a fast food table that sits 4 people fully set up for painting all the time.
Yeah, is that
with water?
That is cool.
That is awesome. So you could go in, buy a mini, and say, you know what? Really not ready to go home. I want to kind of glue this up,
or glue your fingers,
together, which is what I did. So it was a lot of fun, and I thought that's cool, right?
Yeah.
That was offered, and then you look at the terrain, all the different terrain pieces. I went and looked at the big classic. Or custom Inifinity table for a miniatures game we'll talk about in a little bit. And it was just amazing. It looks so... It set the narrative for miniatures gaming.
Yeah.
And on the Facebook group, I had read that the guy who made that table, he's now making his second table for Black Knight, and it will be a Dropzone Commander table.
Yeah, is that
And he's going to go with that kind of big, epic, custom feel. I'm really excited to see what that looks like.
It's going to be awesome.
So all in all, I would say Black Knight gets high regards, high votes. I think it's definitely worth going to.
Yeah.
But be warned, it is expensive. It is one of the more expensive stores I've seen in Ontario, but you get a lot of perks with it.
You do. And just going on, it was very friendly, very open. Yeah, nothing more really to say. It's just
such a great store.
And good
in
experience.
such a ghetto kind of neighborhood.
Seems like it, right?
Seems like it, but it was so good.
Yeah.
Because
it's in like a plaza or a mini plaza.
Yeah, a little strip mall type thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're going, what's this place? And then you go inside and you go, wow, this is a really great looking gaming store.
Well, exactly. And lately, so I haven't had a lot of time for board gaming as much, and that's because I've been putting together some miniatures. I've been gluing up my Dropzone Commander starters. I've been gluing up my Age of Sigmar box some more because I had the Stormcast Eternals done, but I hadn't done the Followers of Khorne, and not Khorne as the Corn on the Cob, Corn,
or the music group Khorne.
Or the music group Khorne, but the actual demon god Khorne, Khorne. Please don't look it up, but if that's your thing, whatever. So I had to put them together still, but they're so dark and so nasty. It kind of just sat on my shelf. So I've been doing a lot of that stuff, but I get bored if it's just kind of gluing. It's not zen for me just to glue.
Yeah.
So I flip up my laptop and I watch mini videos. I watch videos on mini games and on reviews and painting tutorials. So I've been watching a lot of stuff about miniature assembling and miniature games, and it's really got those juices flowing, which I know you're excited about.
Yeah. It's how you keep up with the hobby, just like a board gaming. You know, you can buy a few board games and that's it. But if you get into the podcast and you start listening more and involving that hobby into your life, the more excited you become.
Yeah,
it's a trickle down effect. You know, with whatever you're doing, no matter what you're interested in. So same with miniatures, man. You look at some battle reports and just every miniature gaming game that you see, you go, oh, that's a cool idea. That's neat. I wonder how the mechanics work there and how this works and how that works. Yeah. And so that's the dangerous part as well, though, because you can go way overboard. And thankfully, I'm limited by finances, so I can't go too far.
And that's the thing, right? With a tabletop game, they are expensive. But you buy them, and that's it.
Yeah.
You want to buy an expansion a year later, you can buy an expansion.
Yeah.
That's how board games go. Miniature games are very expensive because you need somebody to play with.
Yeah.
So if you have somebody to play with, you can each buy an army and build up your army and enjoy that.
Yeah.
But if you don't have somebody to play with, or if you do kind of what our group does, and each person kind of buys into a system and we all share our systems back and forth.
Yep.
Where like... Paul has bought into Robotech. So if we ever want to play Robotech, we send Paul a message, say, hey, let's bring out the Robotech and play. I have some Mercs. I have some Dropzone Commander. You have some Dropzone Commander. You have a new game that's coming, which you'll talk about in a little bit. So you bring those out, so you buy more than one army because you want to have the stuff to play with other people and teach them because you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
But it can get really expensive if you don't watch yourself because there's always new stuff coming, especially with the bigger, more popular ones.
Well, exactly, right? There's always... And so you got the cost of getting your army, then you have the cost of paint. You need the time cost of painting or priming, and then you need, when you get those out, you need a table look decent, so you got to get a mat for the table. Yeah. And then when you get the mat from the table, you go, man, could use some hills. Got to use some terrain to sort of block line of sight and all that stuff. So then you got to get that. And then you go, man, look at what these people did on the internet and how they did their buildings and stuff. Buildings, that's what we need. So you got to buy some buildings. But you get the buildings, you got to paint the buildings. If you get the MDF stuff, and then so it goes on and on.
Yeah.
That's why you got a lot of people in the miniature hobby that are into it, not just for the gameplay. Sometimes they don't even play the game, but they collect the miniatures. Or sometimes they're really into it to do the scenery and do the terrain, and that's their thing, man. They got their hot wires, and they're going through the styrofoam, and they're painting it up, and they're gluing it all down. And so there's so many different aspects to miniature gaming as opposed to board gaming, where it's just, well, that's it. You get the game, that's it. Miniature gaming, there's a whole whack of different things you can get into. And you mentioned a game. I'm looking forward to getting... Well, okay, I got some Dwarven Forge that you guys probably heard about a few episodes ago. It's cool, 25, 28 millimeter terrain. I'm getting some terrain tiles, which is for a table to set up, so it's going to look really cool. It's going to have, there's going to be grass and trees and stuff and a whole bunch of neat things on these tiles. And I need a game to support that. So I have Mercs that I've had for a while, but something more fantasy oriented. So I didn't go into total fantasy. I went to historic. So I ordered this game called Saga, and not Saga with SEGA. Saga, which is from Gripping Beast Games. If you're gonna have a company, Gripping Beast Games is a cool name for a company. Anyway, they have a few games, 4 different games or whatever, but Sega is one of their big ones. And basically, I got a starter box with Vikings in it, so it's gonna go back into that type of era, the 1100s ish type age. So you get in my starter box, I'm going to have like a rule book, of course, and then you have battle boards, and battle boards are special things that you can do with your armies. So I'm getting the Viking army, but there's also the Anglo-Saxon army, Welsh army, or the Normans army that I can use my rule book with. And there's tons of other armies with more battle boards. Anyway, in each army you will have... this starting army comes with 4 war bands. They have different size stuff here. They have levies, they have warriors, they have hearth guards. So there's different things that make up this army. So I'm looking forward to playing this. It's sort of like a historic thing, but Vikings are cool. And the cool thing with Sega is they even have... So they do the historical, and I did mention the Viking, Normans, and all that, but they also have a whole bunch of other armies as well that you can add to it. And they even have an undead army with a necromancer. I guess it was like a limited edition thing where you could have like undead roaming around, which is kind of cool. But we'll see. I can't wait to get my Vikings so I can put them together and paint them, and then probably get another army of some sort. Not quite sure which one yet. But maybe the Welsh or the Anglo-Saxons is pretty cool too.
So your starter box comes with just one army?
Just one army. And
so there is no 2-player starter?
No.
Which is interesting.
This specific one, now there's a starter box that you can just get the army. But this one comes with the rule book, the Viking army, and then measuring sticks and dice. That'll go for the Vikings.
Yeah, and the measuring system is really cool because there's like 4 different distances, and you just kind of use a dowel or...
Yeah, you can use a dowel or anything, just one stick. So it's like, it's really neat. And the cool thing about the system is you sort of roll these dice depending on how big your army is. You can have a 4-point army, 5-point, or 6-point army. And depending on how many points, you roll so many dice. You roll the dice, certain... symbols come up on the dice, and you match the symbols to your battle board, and the battle board has different abilities that happen to your army. So if you want to do a fast march or something, each of the different races, or I guess armies, have different battle boards. So the Vikings are different from the Normans, and the Welsh are different from the Anglo-Saxons, and so one person's abilities may be different from another person's, and you get to choose. So like I say, you roll up to 6 dice, and then you can choose out of, there's, 10 different powers or so. I forget what the number exactly is. But you can place the die according to the symbol on the battle board, and then you can use those during the battle. That
is really cool.
Yeah, so I was looking at a game that had mechanics that were a little different, that were appealing, because I like the die roll. I love the die roll, but I also like a tactical use as well. It comes from playing all those Euros you throw my way. But you sort of want that, right?
Yeah, you do.
You don't... There's something to be said about, the randomness. But you want some tactical abilities that you can pull off, and sort of to at least give you ideas of what you
want
can do.
Decisions that matter.
Exactly.
And if the decisions don't matter simply because of the dice roll, then why play the game?
Exactly.
But if you can play the game and make decisions, and the dice roll will affect them only minutely as far as, you hit or you didn't hit, that thematically seems right. Yeah,
I think with the battle board, not only do you have the tactical thought process you have to go through with your army, but to actually figure out where you want your dice to be put on the battle board, and what things will help you. So anyway, I chose Saga. Looking forward to it. Hopefully I can get some picks up when it arrives, and I get some stuff painted, and we'll give you some battle reports later on. May take a while because you
only got one army.
Only one army at a time. Which the army comes, I think, with 25 pieces. So that's a bit of painting. Okay, though I've done a lot more painting. Still painting my Space Cadets away missions. Which is 104 miniatures or whatever.
That's a lot.
It is. I pretty well got them all painted.
It's like watching the guys be paint. Guys came into the store over the weekend, and they were painting their Zombicide stuff.
Yeah.
And this one guy has this massive tote of everything Zombicide. The games, the expansions, the guest artist stuff. And he's sitting painting, and I look at everything he has to paint, and I wonder if he'll ever finish it in his lifetime.
Yeah, I was, one of the videos, and you may have seen it on Saga, was this guy, and I forget, it's Rubbish In, Rubbish Out, I think.
Yes.
Anyway, he's a cool guy from Australia. The accent always gets me, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, he was talking about his 2015 or 2016 New Year's report or whatever, and he was saying about how many armies he's got. But he says, you know what, they're not going to be the best looking armies, but they're going to be painted. So it's like, instead of spending so much time painting to perfection, he's not worried about that. He just wants them to get them paint enough so they're good enough to just, at least be available.
Good enough from 4 feet, but if you look at it from 3 inches, it's going to look like crap.
Yeah,
but who cares?
You'll go blind.
I'm not watching. I'm not playing the game from 3 inches.
No, I just want to play the game, and I want to look decent. I want to look like a bunch of Vikings going across the battlefield. And like I said, I have my Dwarven Forge stuff. Going to put that on the table, and I got my Tear Tiles coming in a few weeks. Looking forward to that. I'll probably put up a picture of that on my Twitter feed.
Yeah, that would be good.
At Andrew at Mad Meeple or Andrew at Dice Functional. So
yeah, because one Twitter feed isn't enough.
Yeah, I'm going. I don't know why I did it. I think it was just okay. Another topic. We'll go to the end.
Yeah. So while you talk about painting, though, you bring up a good point because I put together 4 starters of Dropzone Commander.
Yes.
I've got my PHR, my UCM, and then I've got the 2 that come... Or, sorry, my UCM and my Scourge that come from the 2-player set, and then I have my Shaltari and my PHR. Got them all glued up, and they kind of look like that boring plastic. Gave you 4 cans of spray paint, told you to go prime them for me. You were gracious enough to prime them. And even just with a coat of prime, and they're colored prime, they look good.
Yeah.
Like the UCM in that green... I could just take them now and play.
Yeah, they
look good. Nice. And the PHR with that nice kind of bone white, I could just pull them out now and just play.
Yeah. You definitely have to do something with the Scourge, though.
The Scourge?
the
Scourge are very metallic.
Yeah.
So they definitely need some black and some purples put on there.
Totally.
But yeah, it's just a little bit of paint gives it some respectability.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to doing some Drop Zone. I got some Age of Sigmar to now prime and paint, so I got a lot of painting to do.
You do.
And yet, would you believe I'm still looking at other miniature games?
Yes, I would.
Yes.
Like?
There's 2 games in particular. One is Guild Ball. Okay, so let me start with this. I love a miniatures company that gives you the rule book free.
Yeah.
Dropzone Commander, I tried to search for a rule book.
No.
You can't find a piece of paper on anything online with rules.
That's amazing, actually.
It's actually very amazing in today's day and age. Even illegal ways, you cannot find a rule book.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the game is that obscure or it's just nobody's done it. They're too busy playing the game.
They're devoted fan base.
So you can't get the rules, so it's hard. So you have to kind of get in or play with somebody who has stuff. But I've been looking at a game called Guild Ball. And Guild Ball does one step better. They give you the rules. Then they give you all the paper dolls to print out. They give you the cards to print out. So I can literally try Guild Ball on my table without spending a dime to see if I like it first.
Yeah.
And if I like it, I can then buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who don't know what Guild Ball is, Guild Ball is a game from Steamforged Games out of Britain. And it is mob football. And by football, I don't mean NFL, throw the pigskin. I mean soccer, proper football. And it's mob football where you build these teams of 4 or 5 players.
Sort of like rugby, but not.
And you play the game of soccer.
Okay.
But the changes are tackling and wounding and knocking out is allowed. Hence the mob part of football. And instead of a soccer goal, you actually have a post. And you score by hitting off the post. And in a full game, you will have a captain, you will have 4 players, and you'll have a mascot. That's your team. So it's skirmish size, which is really nice. I'm a fan of skirmish size. Mm-hmm. Less to paint, kind of less to invest into.
Yep.
And you score points. You get 2 points if you knock out an opponent character. And you get 4 points if you score a goal. And you play to 12 points. Typical game takes about an hour and a half. It's sports themed. I know not everybody's into sports. But I'm a big sports fan. And especially soccer. So this really grabbed my attention. And the art style is absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. So if this is something that you're kind of, man, I like Blood Bowl, or I like Chaos Ball, or I like those kind of things, this one's definitely worth looking at. It's from Steamforged Games, and it's called Guild Ball. All right. That one looks good. Have you seen anything about this?
A few pictures, but that's about it. I haven't really gotten into it.
The art is absolutely amazing. The other one is Inifinity, and Inifinity is a sci-fi skirmish level game. Kind of takes place in this kind of futuristic age where humanity has now gone to the stars or gone to the planets. And they've kind of divided up not by the continents we know now, but by big superpower regions. Mm-hmm. And aliens have come into the picture and they're trying to invade or they have invaded. And it's kind of got this really neat kind of cyberpunk, Ghost in the Shell kind of feel to it in a little bit. Skirmish level, and it looks really cool. It's from a company named Corvus Belli, which I think is Spanish, right?
It is.
Really beautiful miniatures. I dread actually buying any of these and putting them together because I'm not that talented. But man, I would love to maybe check this game out sometime.
They always looked pretty crazy awesome.
Yeah.
Some people painted them up really well, and it's got a rabid fan base.
Yeah. So. It seems to be one of the big game systems. You've got your 40K, you've got your Warhammer, you've got War Machine and Hordes, and then you've got Infinity, and that seems to be the big one.
I think so. Yeah. They've really grown in popularity, especially for skirmish gamers, and they like that type of futuristic setting. There's lots of terrain you can pick up for it.
Yeah,
and
and Infinity. Guild Ball is, you could play Guild Ball with no terrain, just your 2 posts, your goals. But Infinity, you need lots of terrain.
Actually, you do. It is terrain intensive.
You want cover.
Terrain plays a very, very important part. If you look at, for example, Beast of War, which I always go to, and if you look at some of their interviews with them on how they sort of, the people from Corvus Belli, they even go around the game tables at Salute or whatever, and they sort of go, is this good? What works as a game table? So they really math it out, what works for cover and stuff. And
because you don't want these big firing corridors.
No, you don't.
You want things broken up. You want it to be...
You want the height differences. You don't want open corridors. And
I really like that because it adds another level of strategy and tactics to a game that just makes it fun for me. Will I like it? I don't know. I'd have to try it sometime. So those are 2 games that I'm looking at that I really want to try. You've got Saga coming.
I think the big important thing is what I think we both like are games not where you just have one army against one army and that's it.
No.
You want objectives. You want fun things. You want scenarios. You want fun things.
I want the narrative to come through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, Guild Ball is a sports game, so it is what it is. But for any type of combat game, I really don't care at all for just facing off armies. I want to know, what objective is this? Am I rescuing a hostage?
Right.
Or, different things like that. Got to be creative.
That's right. You do. You do. Yeah. I don't want a straight murder each other. If I want that, I'll play Heroclix because that's what it's all about.
Oh, it's fun though. Oh, it's fun, Heroclix. All right. Anything else?
Couple of last things. First things first. If you guys have not seen this yet or you do not know what it is, Pathfinder Adventure card game is coming to iOS in about a month.
Yep.
This thing looks absolutely amazing.
You betcha. March 29th.
March 29th, it'll be on iOS if everything goes right.
Yep.
Pathfinder Adventure card game is basically a card version of the actual role-playing game set in the Pathfinder universe using the Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 version.
Yep.
Which Dungeons & Dragons is now on 5th, so it's a little bit older system, but Pathfinder's been using this and refining it and making it awesome. And the Pathfinder Adventure card game runs through those original stories of the Pathfinder
Rise of the
universe.
Rune Lords, Skulls and Shackles, and then probably the latest one,
Wrath of the Righteous.
Yeah. Right.
So this is coming out on iOS. Yep. I believe it has a multiplayer version where you can play cooperatively with other people.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to this because the biggest beef I have with Pathfinder, the card game, is how much space it takes and how heavy it gets.
And bringing stuff out. And even for a single player, like if you're just playing it on your own, to bring out all that stuff for just doing that. It's a time commitment. Then you got to clean everything up.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's going to be like a store thing where you can buy decks and stuff. I mean,
it'll definitely be monetized, but I'm definitely excited for this.
Definitely. And
I finally got to try out Baseball Highlights 2045. Mm-hmm. I own the physical game. I absolutely love it, but you don't always have somebody to play with. So I picked up the iOS version, and it was like $6.99, I think, or $5, and it seemed expensive for what you get. The game is a lot of fun, but it seems like the iOS app doesn't give you the ability to play multiplayer against other people, only AI.
Yeah.
So I find that kind of lacking for the price they were charging. But if you like Baseball Highlights, it's a great game to pick up on iOS.
On the positive, that's Canadian. So if you're American, you can get it for like $1.50 or something.
Well, 50 cents.
A couple things I want to point out before we go. There's a couple conventions I want to mention. Breakout Con is coming in March 18th to 20th, and that's at the Holiday Inn in Yorkdale in Toronto. So be sure to check that out, and you can check out their website at wmh/soo.com.
No, that's another
one. That's a different one. I got that one. Sorry, breakoutcon.com. And so again, that's March 18th to 20th. That's a board gaming convention. Now, if you want
minis with a little bit of board game.
There you go. Then you can go to the Southern Ontario Open, which is in Hamilton, which is a WMH/SOO.com, April 15th to the 17th. So there's a couple conventions you guys can look on your calendar and check online, Google it, and you find some information.
So for anybody who lives in Southern Ontario who complains that there's nothing good to go to,
there's something to go for.
We've got 2 great events coming up in April.
Yeah.
March. Get your butts out of your house.
Absolutely.
Get gaming with some people, whether it's Euros, whether it's Ameritrash, whether it's minis. Get out there and get gaming.
Exactly. And just a note, though, the Breakout Con, that sort of came out of the Tabs Con convention that was out quarterly, I guess.
Yeah. And so, Tabs is still happening, if I understand it. But this is just their big yearly thing.
I think this is something a lot of people should attend just so it sort of gives them a boost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is something we want to see happen every year.
Yeah.
Because it's that perfect... In the Toronto area, you have Breakout Con in the spring, then you have Castle Con in the late fall. And that's perfect.
All right, and before we leave, I just want to do a Kickstarter shout-out to Kickstarter I think looks pretty good. It's called Twisted, which is a fantasy steampunk setting miniatures game.
The minis look so amazing.
And the buildings themselves, this is from Australia. Yeah. So, but you look at these minis and the buildings, oh my goodness, the terrain. I can't afford it, but
I can't afford it.
But you know what? It looks good. So just take a look at it. I think it's inspiring anyway. So there you go. I think that's about it. All right. So before we say our adieus, I just want to remind you, you can catch us on our Facebook page at the Mad Meeple. Catch us on Twitter. Corey is at Straw Hat Gamer. And me, Andrew, is at Mad Meeple. Or because I love Twitter, you can catch me, Andrew, at Dice Functional, because I think that's such a cool name. I want to be the Dice Functional Gamer. I think that's so.
I think that's awesome.
I think that, I was thinking. Anyway, ramble on. Don't forget you can email us at madmeeple@gmail.com. And I think that's it. Check out our webpage at madmeeple.
And if you like what you hear, go to iTunes, leave us a review.
Exactly.
We would love to know that people are listening and enjoying what they're hearing. So if you like what you're hearing, or if you don't, go to iTunes, leave a review.
Absolutely. And as you notice, we usually do 2 episodes a month. We're sort of going monthly now because I think it makes us play more games. And when we come to you, it gives you something to listen to without all these ums and ahs and what, huh?
Yeah.
And so I think this works out well, at least for mine, especially winter driving. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to try something new with this episode. If you've been enjoying this through audio, you might want to check out our YouTube page at Mad Meeple, and we're going to try to put this same podcast up, but we're going to add some pictures, and we're going to add some different things to it. It'll be the same audio, but with some visual aspect to it.
So, and of course, since you're listening to this right now, this may come up in about a week or so after you hear this, just because does take us some time
to edit.
So there you go.
But if you've listened to this through the YouTube, thanks for watching us.
Absolutely. This is Andrew Scholl and
Corey Bizot
saying farewell and keep on gaming.
Won't you come and play with